Hello class! We all wanted to thank you for taking your time and watching our final group project. Our project is called Creating Contracts and Sales at Samsung Electronics. Our team members are Alejandra Bustos, Jose Varela, Yamini Patel, Jasmine Cruz, Sean Simon, Oscar Arellano Rocha, and Sarah Castillo. Hi everyone, my name is Alejandra Bustos, and we wanted to show you guys the problem that Samsung is having with their employees by using a fishbone diagram. Samsung, like many other companies, are having trouble making sales and contracts with their customers. Our team worked closely in figuring out the top 3 issues that Samsung is having that contributes to this big problem. The top 3 issues are having poor sales representatives, poor labor conditions due to staffing, and having no incentive programs. In the following slides, Jose and I will explain these issues closely, and throughout the presentation, our team will explain the negotiations that we have chosen for the employees at Samsung in order to start creating contracts and sales for Samsung Electronics. Our first issue is Samsung's poor sales representatives. In order to generate contracts and sales, these sales representatives need to have the right knowledge on what products they are offering and how their contracts actually work. Not only that, but these sales representatives also have a lack of sourcing and finding customers, which explains why they're not doing as many sales as Samsung expects for them to do. According to Salesforce on March 9, 2017, 68% of the average sales representative's time is spent not selling. If these representatives use their time productively, then this would increase the number of sales and contracts daily. Samsung explains that these poor sales representatives do not follow the 5-step productivity rule that is used in order to generate and make more sales. These productivity rules are selecting the best vendors for your company, implementing good technology for sales reps to use and display, deliver insights and analysis, use incentives judiciously, and make resources available for everyone to use and see.
Our company has been suffering of poor labor conditions due to some staffing concerns. First, sales reps are having to work extended shifts due to the lack of staff, which is causing extreme burnout and low quality of life for the staff. Along with this, performance is decreasing, and unemployment benefits discourage employees from wanting to work. Aside from labor conditions, the company is currently not offering any incentive programs. Samsung is currently not offering any signs of sign-on bonuses or incentives to attract new talent. Current employees earn a very small commission out of new sales. Base pay for employees is slightly above minimum wage. Overtime is only time and a half versus two times salary. And there's currently a freeze of promotions because of low performing sales in this area.
Hello, today my name is Sean Simon. Today I'm going to be going over some possible solutions regarding our current situation and how we can go about becoming more efficient. I like this quote particularly because it definitely stands out to me, and it's very true. When you change the people your employees work with, you provide new ways for them to contribute and allow for them to distribute leadership potential that might otherwise have gone unnoticed. As a company leading in innovation, when we look at performers with other clients and see a decline, we initially place the blame on the representative, but we often don't take the time to address key issues directly in regards to why they are having these issues. Many of our teams are having a difficult time being efficient with acquiring and maintaining contracts. Majority of my staff works countless hours but still does not seem to produce the desired result. Others need corrective training on how the process works, negotiations, and acquiring them. Then there are those who lack motivation due to burnout and excessive workloads. With this conglomerate of information, we have a few possible options, and one of those options are cross-functional training.
All set for the digital transition and new market conditions with the business-proven methods of the Siemens Development System, or SDS for short. SDS is helping Siemens become an innovation leader and a digital champion. Ms. Harrison is involved in developing a new product at Siemens. The requirements are highly complex and draw on diverse aspects of modern technology. Constant shifts in today's digital world also call for more flexible workflows with the quickest possible reaction times. Ms. Harrison's colleagues are diligently tinkering with their product, but they are all based in different departments. This makes it hard to keep track of the big picture and coordinate rapidly. The solution? Cross-functional, empowered teams. Here's how it works. Several employees from a wide range of departments and with a great variety of skill sets form a well-structured fixed team. They organize their project together through periodical face-to-face meetings in a space dedicated for the purpose, the Obeya. This saves them long cycles of coordination by email or video conferencing. Sounds good, but does it really work so simply? Let's consider the natural advantages of teamwork. In order to meet serious challenges, we need support from other people. Their different ideas and talents enrich the collaboration and improve the results. The first stage of a cross-functional team is getting acquainted. Initial skepticism is normal at this point because mutual trust takes time. In the second stage, everyone finds their place in the group. They all divide up the tasks for the project together. If there are any conflicts, a moderator, for example, the project manager or scrum master, mediates between individual team members. In stage 3, everyone jointly sets the rules for the collaboration, which includes seeing things from each other's perspective. This ensures that everyone is united in their focus on the project objective. Along the way, the team members share their knowledge and learn from each other. During the fourth stage, this approach helps them achieve their best through creative interplay and guides their project to success. And now that the team members are used to each other, they face the next challenge with confidence. They will overcome this one much more quickly, which is especially important when it's time critical. So stick to your team. Ms. Harrison is convinced the future is all about working in cross-functional teams that can react quickly to changes. And Ms. Harrison will be able to more effectively keep track of the whole project. You too can complete projects more quickly and take advantage of the diverse skills, knowledge, and experience of employees from many different departments. The SDS manager of your business unit will be happy to answer any questions. You can find more information on the intranet.
Siemens. Ingenuity for life.
So let's briefly talk about why we decided to implement this as a possible solution. Cross-functional training simply aims to build the skills of everyone in the organization so everyone better understands exactly what it takes to be a successful part of a dynamic team as well as increasing your own personal value within the company. The idea is to empower employees to provide support from within the company instead of outsourcing or overloading one group of employees during hectic times. One of the main reasons implementation of this training is important is how it fosters collaboration and innovation between teams. The interaction with other team members gives employees first-hand experience on how other teams operate, as well as acting as a stimulus to the mentality of those participating. You will also become much more of a valued asset to the team and organization. When team members can see and understand what others do, they are far more willing to lend a hand when someone falls behind. They are also able to help out more because they've learned what other team members do. Motivation is also a huge benefit. If employees know there are opportunities within the organization for growth, their motivation to seek out those training opportunities and the corresponding increase in pay grows. More motivated employees will gravitate towards additional opportunities for career growth and mobility, thus increasing retention. So before I get to the plan of action, I wanted to mention a few bits of information. On this slide, we see top competencies, but in all actuality, they are the top competencies employees believe managers can improve on. 41% of employees believe communicating effectively is a top competency. We also have 38% seeing developing and training teams. 37% view managing time and delegating as a top competency. And we have cultivating a positive and inclusive team culture as well as managing team performance, both sitting at 35%. I would like to speak on how we've seen a decline in retention by 16.56% since 2014 to 2020. Despite the current economic situation, when our Western Division implemented a month-long training program that brought 2 high-functioning performers to interact and train the teams, specifically Team 1. Team 1 saw a 56% increase in contract negotiations and sales. This shows that cross-functioning training is a valued option among the organization.
In order for Samsung to have successful contracts, preparation activities are needed. These include selection of negotiating teams and the bargaining responsibilities that come with it. These include personality factors, which is making sure the person Samsung chooses is confident and understands the main goal of the contracts. Management consideration, making sure that they are skilled and experienced. And union consideration is more of a political consideration, someone from a key group in the bargaining unit. Proposal determination is analyzing contract language and determining unions' bargaining goals in contract negotiation. Ways to communicate and know your partners. Whenever possible, use common words, terms, or phrases that are easy to read and understand. You never want to overwhelm your partner. Consider the types of individuals who will use contract and write contract language with this audience in mind. Anticipate questions or circumstances that might arise in implementing the intent of the proposal and include contract language that would answer or address such issues or concerns. Use consistent terminology throughout the contract to refer to the same concept or item to enhance consistency of meaning and interpretation. Write concisely, using only the words necessary to clearly convey the meaning or intent of the contract clause. Use appropriate section numbers or headings to organize contract language by specific bargaining subjects or topics. Use numbered lists to highlight criteria of factors relevant to a particular subject, promotion eligibility criteria. Be clear and specific when specifying timeframes or numbers, specifically like the date of the contract or any type of dates or numbers that are specific to the contract and important to it. Two different approaches to contracts are distributive bargaining, which is the view of two parties' interests making negotiation as a win-lose zero-sum exercise, and integrated bargaining, which is interest-based bargaining with mutual gains, and always a win-win negotiation. Both of these lead to a voluntary settlement, but neither of these approaches guarantee either party will gain everything that they want from the contract. But if done effectively, it will guarantee that they will get most of the stuff that they want in a contract fulfilled.
Statistics and incentives. We have commission, salary, and security are some to name a few. These are used in order to motivate employees in order to reach a certain goal. So in this case, Samsung is trying to boost sales and also get more contracts with other companies. So one of them can be, all of these incentives can be applied to all of the employees that work for Samsung. According to the website on incentives, motivation, and workplace performance, tangible awards can increase performance by an average of 22%. And the team incentives can increase performance by much of 44%. It is also said by the research that incentive programs can increase interest in work. And when programs are first offered for completing a task, a 15% increase in performance occurs. So we can, by the research data that was provided, we can conclude that with some type of incentive, it will motivate people in a certain way to increase their performance. In the following video, it will include some sales incentive plans that can be used in order to motivate people and also to boost sales.
Salespeople have an obvious impact on the performance of their organizations. The more sales these employees generate, the more business their companies enjoy. As a result, companies benefit from providing extensive sales-based incentives to these employees. Let's take a look at sales incentive plans. There are three primary types of sales incentive plans. The first type is a commission-based sales plan. A straight commission plan pays employees a percentage of the total sales they generate. The primary benefit of this type of system is that high-performing employees receive high payouts, and companies pay employees only for what they sell. However, employees working under these plans face a considerable amount of financial risk in terms of what they potentially earn. If a person sells nothing or very little, he or she receives little or no compensation under these plans. Another problem is that employees operating under commission-based pay systems can become so obsessed about their sales levels that they're hesitant to help their coworkers unless they're able to get a part of their commissions. This may be particularly problematic when sales environments depend on collaboration and teamwork among employees. Given these concerns, companies may replace commission-based pay systems with systems that are more team-oriented. Some companies rely on straight salary plans for their salespeople. Employees receive a set compensation regardless of their sales level. As you can imagine, employees working under these plans might not be as motivated to sell as much as they can. However, the systems do provide employees with much greater personal income security, and because these plans remove the strong incentives to focus only on sales, employees might be more willing to spend time providing quality service to customers or working with existing customers. In an attempt to capitalize on the benefits of both commission and salary incentive plans, some companies use the mixed salary commission plan. In these systems, employers receive a lower base salary, perhaps only 50 or 70% of what would be offered under a straight salary plan. The remaining percentage is commission-based. Sales incentives are critical for motivating in some organizations and roles.
Training. Training and investment is a way to also develop skills. The development helps companies gain and retain top talent and increase job satisfaction. So this will help the company and also the employee in both ways. There is also increased employee engagement. So it will give team members the product and knowledge of sales process knowledge, and they also will improve productivity. And then there's also boost for sales. So the boost for sales can give an outcome of higher productivity and increased efficiency and more innovation. This also removes obstacles of progress that an employee might have. So it will be one of the most effective ways to also improve employee engagement. And with this, they'll just know more about maybe how exactly they can sell more products for the company. So it'll just be a big boost for them, for the company.
Sales. So in this slide, we have the sales for Samsung over the past year and a half, which has been divided into individual quarters. So from 2020 quarter 1 to quarter 2, we had a 4% decrease in sales. From quarter 2 to quarter 3, we had an increase of 26% in sales. From quarter number 3 to quarter number 4 of 2020, we had an increase. We actually had a decrease in sales of 8%. From the last quarter of 2020 to the first quarter of 2021, we had an increase of 6% in sales. From quarter 1 of 2021 to quarter 2 of 2021, we had an increase of 3% in sales. And then in the latest quarter, from quarter 2 to quarter 3 of 2021, we had an increase of 60% in sales. Based off of this, the company has done a pretty good job overall, with an overall increase in sales of 39% based off of quarter 1 all the way to the latest quarter. Keep in mind that this is without the training we have proposed or without the implementation of our incentive program. Once it is put in action by top management, we expect there to be a little to no decrease in sales given everything stays constant. On this slide, we have the predicted sales before incentives and training, and then we have the predicted sales after incentives and training. So before the incentives and training, we expect the decrease on the final quarter of 2021 of 3%, and then we expect the increase in the first quarter of 2022 of 6% on sales. Then for the second quarter of 2022, we expect another 9% increase. Quarter 3, we predict there to be a 4% decrease, and then the final quarter we expect to see an 8% increase. On the other hand, if we implement the incentives and we do some training, for the last quarter of 2021, we expect there to be a 1% increase. For the first quarter of 2022, we expect a 9% increase. For the second quarter of 2022, an 8% increase. For the third quarter, a 2% increase. And finally, for the last quarter, we expect a 10% increase. Overall, after the training and incentives are implemented and everything is done, we will have an 11% positive difference on sales. We would be missing out on this 11% if we do not implement that development of employees in an incentive program for the sales department. This will also keep our sales representatives within the company and make the investment on employee development well worth it, since they will remain with the company. This would be a very smart incentive for Samsung to consider.
So in conclusion, Samsung was at first not able to make contracts or sales. So we had a solution later on. But some of the problems that it did have at first were the poor sales representatives. The poor sales representatives was that they needed more knowledge in order to get more contracts, and also more knowledge of products, and lack of sourcing were some of the few that was a problem to find contracts or make sales. It was also poor conditions. The poor conditions that Samsung had was that it didn't have any, it was kind of lack to staff. And when there's lack to staff, there's really not enough people in order to make sales. The other one was the incentives programs that they should implement, because they did not really have any. So Samsung was not offering any sign-on bonuses or incentives to attract new talent. The current employees did earn a very small commission out of the sales that were made. Also, there were cross-functional training. The cross-functional training, it would foster a culture of collaboration and innovation. So cross-functional did help, and it also increased employee motivation and increased workforce sustainability. And for there to be a successful contract, some of the preparation activities that could be helpful would have been the selection of negotiating team, and there's also the bargaining and responsibilities and proposal determination. And finally, we had the statistics of the incentives. So this would have been the commission, salary, and security, which it was kind of showing how it actually did help an increase in such as performance for the employees whenever there were actual awards given and offered to them. So with the training just gave more it would develop skills, job roles, and promotion, and boost for sales, which was a win for the employees and the company. And then finally, we just have the sales chart of Samsung. So it was a before and after of the predicted sales that they had done with the incentives and training. And in conclusion, our conclusion was that incentives and with training, it actually does help boost sales at the end, because it just motivates employees.